Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Stannis here. Everybody's traveling right now. You can see on Instagram, everybody's traveling. I'm always seeing these pictures of everybody's just going around the countries, seeing different places, seeing new places, going to like weird, exotic places, right? So I'll be showing you guys how I traveled to Europe, pretty much for like $200, just getting across over there. And pretty much what I like to say is getting to that country is the hardest part because you're going to have to travel there. Usually the tickets to get there are around like $1,000, $1,500, and the flights could be really shitty. The flights could be really bad depending on what you decide to get and what your price range is. So if you go to like just Google, let's go to Paris, France. All right, let's say we're going from LA to Paris, France. Let's see how much it's going to cost us. Something just a normal flight. This is off Google Flights. There's different methods you could do to figure out how to find a flight or whatever. But Google Flights, I found it's pretty easy. Give me a bunch of options, and I usually can just sort by the cheapest as well. So right now they're giving me around, just off like a real quick look. Generally, like the cheapest flights would be around $1,000, and the expensive ones probably like $3,000. It's just economy too. Using points, you're going to be able to get like higher class seats and stuff, but I would just prefer just taking multiple flights instead of just taking like just taking a better seat. Anyways, let's see if we could find the cheapest seat. Yeah, so the cheapest one we're seeing right now is around like $1,200. It's going to be 18 hours to get there, so it's definitely going to take a lot of time. Only one stop too, so it's not that bad. So also depending on where you are in America, or maybe you're in Europe and you're trying to go to America or like going to Asia or some whatever, obviously it's gonna be a little bit different. LAX is pretty popular, pretty big hub. Same thing with like JFK. But if you're flying out from a different spot, then it might be harder. You might have to take multiple flights to get to these places. But regardless, it's gonna be pretty expensive just to get there. So just starting off a Europe trip off $1,000 off the bat pretty much is just kind of a lot. But once you get there, all you gotta care about is your living arrangements, what are you gonna eat, and where you're gonna travel to. Pretty much, eating can not be that expensive, especially if we don't drink. If we drink, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. But you could always have the option to just buy liquor at a liquor store instead of eating at the restaurant, which sometimes I would try to do, but sometimes it's kind of hard. I just drink at the restaurants. I'll just take the hit right to the bank account. I don't care. Hostels are really not that expensive. You can probably get a hostel bed for around €50 a night, which is pretty good. If you want like your own room, probably around €100 a night. That's pretty average what I've seen. I didn't use any of them. Just the normal hostel bed I did use. Transportation there is probably gonna be around €100, €150, depending on what cities you're trying to go to and how close they are or how far they are. Oh, and a lot of the destinations you go to, like just sightseeing and stuff, a lot of that stuff is free. If you do want to do some of the more paid stuff, they're probably going to be around €20, €20 to €50, depending on what you want to do. If you want a guided tour, you just want to go there and just take pictures, see everything. Just really depends on what you want to do and what your budget is trying to go for. All right, back to the flight and stuff. So I was able to pretty much a very cheap flight, right? I'll start from these points. Amex Platinum card, Chase Reserve, Sapphire card, a lot of these cards, whatever you guys have, it doesn't really matter. It just all starts with points. So let's start off on my Chase one. So as here right now, I got like 57,000 points. Probably ranges around, I think it's like, so like 50K points. So like 50K points is around like $500. All right, so it doesn't seem that impressive, but the way that we can make this, like make our value extend, is by actually transferring it to a travel partner. So pretty much I would just start from here, do your bank, whatever bank you have, they probably have points and stuff, so get those points. And then you're going to want to go to the transfer to travel partners. Once you transfer to travel partners, you go to also hotels and the other stuff as well, but just basically off airlines. You go to airlines, and you're going to just, depending on where you want to go, and yeah, so pretty much depending on where you want to go, you're going to want to choose an airline that is the cheapest there. So if you're trying to go to like France, probably Air France would probably be better. If you're just trying to go to London, Virgin Atlantic is a lot better. So that's what I did. So Virgin Atlantic, and pretty much this thing is just going to pretty much I have you transfer points. So hit transfer points, whatever flying company you're gonna use, you're gonna get their ID, whatever, and then just pretty much go to this page. Say you want to send 1,000, you're gonna need to spend more. And before you do this, you're also gonna want to go to that page and send the amount that you actually want. Just so you send enough, because whatever airline you're sending it to, they may or may not keep those points on your account forever. They may have an expiration date on those points, maybe like 2 to 3 years. It just depends. You might want to look a little bit deeper into that airline, but I'm just doing this for an example. Alright, so this is just basically saying review your details. It's going to remove that many points from my account, and it's going to just send it to my Virgin Atlantic Club. Boom, submit it, and then that'll be it. And if you go to your airline, for example, mine's Virgin Atlantic, it'll just pop up right here, 1,000 points. I've had this previously, so I didn't actually transfer anything. But let's just see how much a round trip to London is right now. Let's do that. Just random dates, done. Okay, so just change the dates a little bit, but if we go to the points, and we could see we could get a flight from LAX to London for 35k points plus $500, right? So right here, this is pretty much around the same price range I got for my previous flight trip, but the only difference was I used my Chase Reserve card, which gave me pretty much have an annual $300 credit. This is what this is the credit I use. I use the annual travel credit, which is give you $300 a year. So I pretty much use that to knock off $300 from this ticket, leaving me just pretty much around $200 for a ticket from, well, I took it from Seattle, but Seattle to London, which is the same thing for LAX apparently. So $200 flight to go to Europe, pretty cheap. It was round trip as well, so yeah. There's different options here, and I don't know, my experience at Virgin Atlantic was pretty good too. No problems at all. Probably one of the better flights I've been on. And as you know, traveling in Europe, there's a lot of really bad flights, but they're cheap, so it was worthwhile for that. But you're going to be sitting in a really uncomfortable chair, no amenities whatsoever. It's only for like 2 hours or so, but you still notice. You definitely still notice the quality. And for example, for the Amex, same thing. You got your points right here, and then you just go to travel partners. Just go view all. And sometimes they're going to be giving away like little bonuses and stuff. So like sometimes your points will go farther. Sort of like Aero Mexico probably goes to Mexico. You'll get 600 more points for every 1,000 you send over there. But a lot of them are just 1 for 1. But regardless, anyways, if you just transfer your points to these airlines and you plan on going that trip within a year or so, then you're probably good. Once again, check further details for that airline. But if you do that, you're just going to spend a lot more points. You're going to save a lot of money just by spending the points that you already have, and then a little bit more extra money on top of it. So just getting to your destination is going to be a lot cheaper. Alright, hopefully that was pretty simple, and then hopefully you guys can just start traveling like these people. Take pictures, whatever, but also saving your money too, because you don't want to be going over here and just going bankrupt just because you want to go to Europe or whatever. You definitely want to travel when you're younger too. These credit cards have helped me like travel, just like $200 fly over there. Really helps maintain the cost of traveling pretty low. That's pretty much it. If you guys like my content, like and subscribe. That's pretty much it. I'm Stannis. Peace out.